Okay, hello guys. I'm doing another voiceover. Today I am going to do 3 watercolor studies and I will talk about all the mistakes that I did in all 3 of them and what I learned. Again, this is not scripted, I'm just gonna talk my way through this. This first one, I already made a mistake here. So the color is much darker than I wanted it to be, and I didn't tote the the sketchbook that I had, so there were some water blooms happening where I didn't want it to happen. I think value-wise it was okay. It's just the first wash was just too dark. And you can see like right around the forehead area there was water bloom happening, and I did not want that to happen. So there's that. Later on you'll see that I noticed that my sketch actually wasn't very good. Her forehead is a little bit too big. Like in general, like her face is just longer than I intended it to be, but I was using as reference that had like cast shadows from flowers, which is what you see like the squares and stuff on her face. I tried to do like a background situation. I don't know what I was trying to do, but this was me trying to learn watercolor again. I think also you can see now the colors are really dark and it's very yellow, and I didn't like that much. I didn't add enough like blue into it. So yeah, that's that for the first study. For the second study, you're gonna see here in a second, I am trying to do the first wash a lot better, and you can see that I improved on that by it's much lighter, obviously. And the colors I picked a little bit better, or I was mixing a little better and I was more careful and I planned ahead a little bit more. But everything was going pretty well until like halfway through this. And one thing I noticed is I overwork a lot of the layers. So around the eye area and the nose area, I would overwork it a lot to a point like where the shape just wasn't really good anymore. Like the language, the shape language just wasn't good anymore. So that's something I have to work on. But you'll see that in all 3 of my studies is that I just overworked them. Here I'm trying to do like a green and orange color combination, where the green is like shadow and orange is more peachy and for the highlights or lighter areas. Something that I did not do very well was the green. You can see it was a little bit too green. I should have added a little bit more either like blue or like a little bit of orange, just kind of balance out. On its own, like here it looks fine. Like this is where I was like, okay, things are going well, things are going great, you know. And then I messed it up, so you'll see in a second. You can see the eye area there. I kind of messed up that area, but it's okay. But I kept going over the eye area, making it really muddy, and I had to fix it much like later on and didn't really work. But painting some fish here, I don't know why they're there. They're just kind of there to be there. I was using a reference, and I'm sure you've seen this reference like a billion times on Pinterest already. Another problem that I had was when I was painting the hair, it was way too dark. Like I should have mixed either orange or the green I was using into it so that the painting looked more balanced, because like this it just didn't look balanced at all is what I'm trying to say. But you see, I was trying to do different like hair depths and stuff like that, but it was just the colors didn't mesh well. So and you'll see this again in the next painting, the next study that I do, where I having the same issue. Another thing is eyebrows. I need to practice how to draw eyebrows because that looked really weird. Like here, it still looked kind of okay. It's right here when I started overworking it and adding too dark of shades and stuff like that. And so here, like, you can't really tell on camera, but it's really green. Or it looked a lot greener in person. So what I did, you'll see later, is I added more like red off camera, and it looked a little bit more balanced ish. Like right here, I added more of the red. The green was just kind of overpowering a little bit too much, so this makes it somewhat more balanced. And it contrasts well with the hair a little bit better. This is my Dursa study. I, again, was trying to improve on mistakes that I did in previous studies. So here I actually tilted the paper or the sketchbook so that when I do the wash, it actually goes to the bottom and I can kind of remove it here. So there wasn't any weird water blooms happening randomly at random places. And that was fine. It worked out fine. One thing I noticed with this one was that my shadows weren't dark enough. And the reds, the blush wasn't dark enough either, so there wasn't much contrast. And even when there was like a shadow, like you can't really tell there was a shadow just because I didn't really apply enough paint to my brush, and also too watery. And here I'm trying to do like a soft blend just with a damp brush because I don't want any hard edges here, and it worked out pretty okay. You'll see I'm already doing this. The nose area, it's already looking kind of crazy. I made a mistake of not being patient for the paint to dry, and so there was some blooming happening there. Here I noticed you see the red streak right under her nose, so that was supposed to be much darker. I should have added a little bit more blue or a little bit more gray to it. Now it just looks like she has a bloody nose, but it's supposed to be cast shadow. I kind of fixed it here. Again, another fish, just to kind of match with what's going on above her. I really need to practice on how to like paint eyes. And you can see here the hair looks a lot more, just a little bit better with this study, just because I actually used that color on the face, so it doesn't look as like out of place as the one that we saw previously. But yeah, I wanted to do these studies to kind of see where I'm at with watercolor, like my starting point, and then obviously looking at this, looking back at it, like I know what I need to improve on and like what I can do. So it's kind of exciting. I will be doing more videos soon on how I study and what I'm trying to improve on and such and such. The next video will either be watercolor or alcohol marker, so it should be exciting. My camera actually died right around here, so I'll just show you what I ended up doing. This was the finished product. Thank you.